Alright, there's a video for one VT and one HT about exercise 10. Now you can see it's a difficult exercise because there's an A in front of it. We need to solve all of these things. Right, so yeah, we'll just start here. I think I'm gonna work like that. I think I'm gonna do A and then E and then I and then B, F, L. So just go from the top to the bottom. Now one thing that I explained in a previous video, actually in the lesson where people joined, one thing that's very important to memorize is that if you have a number squared, right, a negative number squared, and if it's in brackets or not, you get a different answer. If the minus 4 is in brackets, then the answer will be positive, because then negative times negative is positive. But if the minus is not in the brackets, then the answer will be negative. The reason for that is that here you do a 4 squared and then minus, and here you do minus 4 squared and then nothing. Okay, so that's why here you have negative and here you have positive. That's very important to remember because we're going to need that a lot in this exercise. First one, it says minus 5 times minus 8 squared. Well, the order of operations is, let me write that down over here for you, for the people that forgot. First brackets, then squares and square roots, then times divided by, and then plus and minus. Okay? So over here, there are no brackets, that's nice. And then we have to do a square. So here the minus 8, the minus is not in the brackets, so that means that the answer will be negative. And 8 squared is 64. 8 times 8 is 64. And then we need to multiply that with minus 5. Minus 5 times minus 64 is 320. And that is the answer then. I'm going to go to E. This one is actually a bit similar, as you can see, but now the 5 and the minus 8 is in brackets. So first I'm going to copy that minus, and then I'm going to calculate what 5 minus 8 is, because you have to do the brackets first. 5 minus 8 is minus 3, and then we have to square that. Now here you see that the minus is in the brackets. So that means that 3 times 3 is 9, and because the minus is in the brackets, it will just be 9 instead of minus 9. But there is a minus in front of it, so our final answer will still be minus 9. Alright, so minus 3 squared is 9, and then a minus in front of it. Let me show you, if you want to check this with your calculator, I'll show you how you can type that in. Okay? Because here we have, I'm going to do this step, minus 3 squared. So then I have to press this minus first, because this minus means that you're going to do something negative. And then bracket open, and then this one again, right? And then you have minus 3, bracket closed, and then squared, and then it will tell us minus 9. Okay? So here we saw that. So you can check your answers using the calculator if you'd like, but please write down the intermediate steps, because on a test you also have to. This one is really difficult with the fraction. You can see that the last row has fractions in it, so it's going to be a bit difficult. Here we have 18 divided by, and then minus 1/3 squared. Let me show you how to do a bracket squared, or a fraction squared, sorry. So we have this fraction, and I'm going to square it. That means it's 1/3 times 1/3, right? Because you do it times itself. Well, 1 times 1 is 1, and 3 times 3 is 9. So this is going to be 1/9. Now divided by a fraction is the same as multiplying with the opposite, so 9 over 1, and then 18 divided by that. And then we do 18 times 9, so that's 162, I think. Let me check that just to be sure. Yes. And there's one minus, so it's negative. So you have minus 162 over 1, so it's just going to be this number. Yeah, so to repeat this one, because this one's really difficult. First I did 1/3 times 1/3, that's 1/9. And then I put the fraction the other way around, because then divided by turns into times. And then you do this number times the top, and then you just have the answer. But this is one of the more difficult ones, so if you don't understand that one, it's not really a problem. As long as you can do like this row here, that will be, if you can do that, then I'm happy. I mean, if you can do the other things, even better. Here it says 5 minus 8 squared. So first we have to do 8 squared. 8 squared is 64, and then 5 minus 64 is, what's that, minus 59, and that's the answer. F, here we have the minus 8 in brackets. So if you look over here, that means that the answer will be positive. So minus 8 squared is 64, and then we have minus 5 minus 64. That's going to be minus 69. And then over here again something with a fraction. So I'm going to write this one down, and then I'm going to calculate what that is. It's sort of the same as over here, but now the minus is in the brackets. See that? So it's minus 1/3 times minus 1/3. Well, negative times negative is still positive, so this is still 1/9. And there's a minus here, so that's why there's still a minus there. So now we need to subtract this. 1/9 is the same as 2 over 18. So if you subtract that, 5 minus 2 is 3, and at the bottom you just get 18. And 3 over 18 is the same as 1/6, because you can divide the top and the bottom both by 3, and then you get 1/6. So a very difficult exercise again. So it's like easy, intermediate, difficult. Next row also. So first easy, not that easy, but it's easier than the rest, right? Here the -8 is in the brackets, so 8 times 8 is 64, and because the minus is in the brackets, it's going to be positive. And then times 5, so this one is very similar to what we did over there. We get 320. Then we're going to go to this one. First minus 5 squared. Well, 5 squared is 25, and the minus was not in the brackets, but in front of it. So the answer is going to be minus 25. And then plus 8 times 3 squared is 9. 8 times 9 is 72, and minus 25 plus 72 is 47. So that's the answer there. And then we have this one. We have minus, and then this is going to be 64, and then plus 4 times, and this is going to be minus 9. Here, minus 8 squared is 64, and there's a minus in front of it. That's why you get that. Here the minus is not in the brackets. That's why you get that. Then we calculate what this is. 4 times 9 is 36, but there was a minus in front of it. So minus 64 plus minus 36 is going to be minus 100. Alright, so far so good. We're 3/4 of the way done. We have 9 exercises finished, and we still have 3 to go. This one. Here the 5 times minus 8 is in the bracket, so we need to calculate that first. 5 times minus 8 is minus 40. And then we need to square that. Well, we know that 4 times 4 is 16, so 40 times 40 is 1600. And because the minus is in the brackets, the answer is going to be positive. So this is the answer there. We're going to go to this one. Minus 8 squared, that's minus 8 times minus 8, so that's 64. Divided by 16, so then we have 4. Okay. And then over here we have minus 1, and then minus 5 times that. So let me just show you what that is, just here separately. We have minus 2/5 squared, so that means you have to do minus 2/5 times minus 2/5. Well, negative times negative is positive. 2 times 2 is 4, and 5 times 5 is 25. So it's 4 over 25. So I'm going to write that down here. Then we have to do times, so I have to do 5 times 4 is 20 over 25. And then minus 1 minus that. Okay? Now if you want to subtract, actually you can sort of add this, because it's both negative. So the answer is minus 1 and then 20 over 25. You can make this smaller, because 20 and 25 can both be divided by 5. So it's minus 1 4/5. And that is the answer here. So thank you for watching this very big video, a lot of numbers, very confusing, but hopefully you understood it. Bye bye.